what's up, Jason? Thank you for joining us today. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on, man.
I'm leveling up.
Finally, man. It's like I've been trying to get you up here since last year, and I'm happy that you responded to my message and you wanted to come up here, man. So thank you.
I appreciate you being diligent. I know that you asked me many times, and I just wasn't in a headspace for it, and you were very respectful to that, and I appreciate that, and here we are.
You can say it, man. He's a nuisance, and you just wanted to get him out your hair.
Hey, look,
you're like, fine, I'll do the show.
I don't want to repeat things out of school. Everything that your co-host said about you is true. They think you're amazing.
Oh God! Don't side with this dude, man.
And I will to bet though that he didn't inform you that this is a PG podcast.
No, I informed Remy. I told Remy that's a PG podcast.
Okay. Did I already say something that you have to bleep out?
No, but if you do, if I can bleep it out, and it'll make for a good laugh.
Okay. All right. I will keep it PG. Now, which one of you guys is the wrestler?
That's me. Pinky's up.
What does that mean, pinky's up?
It's like my hand gesture. Like, you know how Stone Cold used to put up the middle finger?
Yeah, that's his rock eyebrow.
But you're like this.
Yeah, he's like this.
Yeah, the pinkies they touch. Like I'm touching the camera right now. But there we go. Yeah.
Yeah. So that means, is that like if I'm your team, I can tag you like, right here, right here.
Yeah. I team up with this guy named Diamond Victor Griff, and that's how we tag in and out of the ring with our pinkies.
That's awesome. Do you enjoy it?
Oh, for sure, man. Like I've been doing it now for 7 years, and I love every moment of it.
My son and I took it. So I used to live in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, which is in Wilson County. It's about 25 minutes from Nashville, in this rural area. And our post office is like, the size of a car. And inside they had posters, and they had a poster for a local wrestling circuit. And I was like, no way! I've got to check this out. I had no idea. In my backyard, once a month, across from the Gladeville Community Center, across from the Gladeville Church, was like independent wrestling circuit.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. I mean, it was because I grew up watching WWF, so my guys were like Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant and Snook, Superfly, Jimmy Snuka, all those guys. So bringing my son this, I'm like, dude, this is gonna blow your mind. And it had everything. It had the stories. It had the managers with the metal briefcase that was all dented up. The conniving behind the scenes, the flipping, all that, the people were going crazy. I loved it. I had so much fun. There's somewhere on my Instagram, there's a video of me doing a selfie, and in the background, like guys are flipping off ropes and stuff like that. It was so much fun. But it's punishing. It's punishing physically for you. How are you physically?
I'm pretty fine. I mean, like I'm a pretty big guy. Well, I used to be
a stud, man. Look at him.
Yeah, I really used to be a really big guy, but I lost a bunch of weight. But I like to hit hard. So
she said
it's like, so if I'm gonna hit you hard, like I want you to, hit me hard. And if you don't hit me hard, then it's a problem. And I'm just gonna keep on hitting you harder. I think I could take so much pain because when I was a kid, my mom, she used to whoop my ass all the time. So because of that, it made me resistant to a lot a thing. So,
thank you, Mom.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mom. Gonna have another. Thank you, Mom. Gonna have another. This is training.
Yeah, I was I was a very bad kid, and I do stand-up comedy. I haven't done it in a while.
Yeah.
But when my mom, she came out to support me for my first show, and I told everybody in the crowd, I was telling them a story about my mom. Everybody was weak as hell, and I was just like, hey, don't laugh too hard because she's here in the crowd. Like, she might come on stage and whoop my ass.
And she did.
And she did get mad because she was just like, why was I telling people stories about her? I was just like, because it's funny.
Oh, that's more dangerous than getting in the ring, wasn't it? Bringing your mom to your stand-up show.
Yes, most definitely.
Wow, well, I'm fascinated with the wrestling. I think it's already demystified for most people, but I mean, it's theater. It's true. I mean, it's definitely physical. I mean, you guys are definitely putting it all out there. It's physically taxing, but I love it. I have such admiration for you guys.
Yeah, we're professional stunt.
You're out there in Tennessee, man, and that's the backyard for a lot of wrestling coming up.
So I understand. Yeah.
I've wrestled in Tennessee before. I can't remember what part of Tennessee that I was at, but I wrestled there. It was somewhere in the mountains. It was called Mountain Championship Wrestling. I can't remember where it was.
Like Gatlinburg? That's the only mountains I know of near here.
Probably, but like it was fun. It was my first time ever coming to Tennessee. I really wish that I could have went to Nashville and, you know, tried the Tennessee barbecue and stuff like that. But most of the time on wrestling road trips, it's like you're going to the show and then you're coming back home. I want to say it was about like a 10-hour drive there, and so it was total. It was about like a 21-hour drive because we drove there and then we came back the same night.
Just be careful, Benjamin. Just be careful.
Trust me.
They don't pay you guys enough to do what you guys do.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's very true.
He got 2 hot dogs that night, so he's good.
There you go. Here you go. Here's another hot dog.
Hot dog in the handshake. Yeah, I mean, like you were saying about indie wrestling, it's one of those things where it's like it's in your area, but if you don't know about it, you don't know. And then when you do find out about it, it's just like, okay, it's like this is like WWE, and it's right in my hometown, so I can go to it every month.
Yeah,
and I get to interact with the wrestlers, take pictures with them. Like I know when I started wrestling, and before I started wrestling, I would go to the WWE shows, and I remember like after the shows, I would always try to get pictures with the wrestlers when I was younger, but it's like, you know, they would just head straight to their car and that would be it. And I remember I always said, like, if I ever became a wrestler, if somebody wanted to talk with me, I would always talk with them. And that's one thing that I do. It's like, people talk to me all the time. Like, people message me all the time. So it's like, you know, I'm a very approachable person. So, yeah.
Why do you think that is that they don't want to talk to people?
I mean,
they got a long drive, man.
This was the early to mid 2000s, so it's like I guess it was just a different time period. I'm pretty sure wrestlers nowadays in WWE, it's like if they're walking to their cars, it's just like, yeah, I'll take a picture with you.
Sure.
I used to hang out in the parking garage and get autographs and pictures and stuff. I saw Rey Mysterio without his mask, man, in the parking garage. Yeah. Blew my mind.
Because I wondered if they don't want to let down the character or the persona.
I mean, that's a possibility.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I mean, I know definitely, you know, if you're a bad guy, you don't want to be taking pictures with any of the fans. And you don't talk to them. But the good guys, you know, like sometimes like they'd acknowledge you if you said something. But for the most part, they just walk to their car. I do have a story. One time, me and my brother, we went to a WWE show, and the show was still going on, and I was just like, hey, let's just go to the parking lot. So we went to the parking lot, and we were sneaking around the wrestlers' tour buses, and we were just like, yo, hopefully, like, one of the wrestlers will come out, and then they'll talk with us. And my brother, like, he was younger than me. He was just like, sure, but like looking back at it now, like, we could have got arrested.
You were literally going in the tour buses and stuff.
No. We were just walking around and like hoping that some, like knocking on doors, like hoping that somebody would come out and be like, oh, yo, who the hell is this guy? You know, so.
Yo, man, I used to do that with bands back in the day.
Yeah.
I met Chad Kroger from Nickelback that way. Yo, straight up knocked on his tour bus door, and this dude opened the door and was like, who the hell are you guys? Chad, we're fans, man.
Left from the other room at hearing Nickelback.
Jason, do you have any crazy fan stories where like a fan went out of their way to meet you?
Yeah. Well, recently, this couple, I don't know if they're fans. I mean, we're kind of friendly, but they found where I lived, and they came over and they messaged me on Instagram and said, hey, look out your window. And I looked out my window.
Oh my God.
And there they were hanging out in my front yard wearing those inflatable T-Rex costumes.
Oh. And I would have been, I would have laughed at that. I was like, okay, like.
It starts off so creepy and it's so funny.
It was fun. I knew they're like around my age, maybe a little older, husband and wife couple. We met at a food tasting thing, and they happened to find out there that I was an actor, and I think that excited them, and so they would message me and whatnot. But they were in town doing extra work on a music video, and then they found my house. I'm like, how do you find my house? Like, and obviously I'm giving it away. Obviously it's very easy to find out where I live using a quick search. So I don't. Hey, if anyone's gonna show up, please show up in an inflatable costume of some sort. That'll definitely get me excited to come outside.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, it's just crazy because it's like, you hear these stories of fans like finding out where their favorite celebrities live, and then it's like they're there for other reasons. Like,
again, Sonya Deville just recently had a scare.
Sonya Deville? I don't know who that is.
She's a wrestler in WWE.
Oh, did someone come to her house and?
Yeah, some guy had been stalking her on social media and sending her messages telling her he was gonna kill her and her sister and all these crazy things. And her alarm went off one night at like 1 a.m, and he was outside her window, man, and got into the house. And she called the police and they came and got him.
I mean,
and I'm sure there's more stories like that for a lot of celebrities that you just don't hear about.
I guess I've been, where's wood to knock on? I mean, I've been fortunate. I have, I never consider myself, popular enough to warrant something like that. But, I've definitely heard of actors who just got started who have had very unfortunate situations happen. Most recently I had a guy who was pretending to be me on Instagram and soliciting girls' phone numbers.
Holy.
And a gal screenshotted the conversation, sent it to me. She's like, just want you to know this is going on. And I couldn't do anything about it because he was going under a fan site. So Instagram wouldn't take him down. It was a fan site. So I confronted him personally. I was like, hey, you got to stop doing this. And I was very nice about it. But I'm like, you got to apologize, and you can't be doing this to solicit, it's you're stalking women, it's not safe. You can't be doing that. And he got in my face through text and was threatening to me. I had to make an FBI report. It was, I'm sure it was harmless, but be too careful these days.
People are wild, man.
Yeah. Yes. And it's crazy how, gullible some people are, because I mean, like on Facebook, you see there's always these Tyler Perry Facebook
I was about to say Tyler Perry giving out money.
Tyler Perry's giving out like the
share this. I'm picking 15 people.
Yeah, I'll pick 15 people to give $100,000 to, and people like they share, they comment on it, and they believe it. And I'm just like, guys, like this is really Tyler Perry. Like, come on now. Like
there would be a check mark, and there would be. People don't do the. People obviously we mentioned before on my Mars Variety show, that last episode. People believe there was an Acme backdrop company that went around booting backdrops, and people.
That's crazy because the first thing I thought was Looney Tunes.
That's what I thought too. Yeah, that's what I
thought. I was like, what's like a legal? I mean, I think that's like a legally safe company that I could use, Acme, without getting in trouble. But so many people, even I posted the cease and desist letter because I made a fake cease and desist letter like, hey, the Acme Backdrop Company says you can't use our backdrop on the Mars Variety Show unless you have 1,000 subscribers. So stop use immediately. And in the top in the letterhead it said, this is not a real email at gmail.com. 123 Fake Street.
And people
they still fell for it.
Yeah, they fell for it. It's the internet. Like, and on Facebook, like we have this anime group called Roshi's Island, and back in the early days of the group, I was doing this whole list thing, and I was putting people on this imaginary list. I borrowed it from Chris Jericho, and it's like I would be like, "You're on the list, and you have 5,000 strikes," and people were like, "Well, I'm leaving the group." I'm like, it's not that serious. Like, who the hell gets 5,000 strikes?
5,000 strikes, dude. Come on, it's a joke, man.
It goes to show you the level of, I don't want to say ignorance or stupidity, because it's not that. It's that we're so quick to believe everything. We skim. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I skim read email and information. We're just so quick to jump to what we project is the reality. and that's the reality, even no matter how absurd it is. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, just to let you know, you're on your 5,000 strike, sir.
I am.
So.
Yay! I don't know what that means.
It doesn't mean
it don't mean nothing.
It don't mean nothing. But people. I mean, I can understand if you got 3 strikes, but it's like telling somebody to you got 5,000 strikes.
It's your 5,000 strike. Give me one more chance.
That's crazy, man. They would, man. So, I mean, since we're on the topic of the Mars Variety Show, let's talk about it. So, what inspired you to make this show?
You know, man. Oh, hi, puppy. Wait, that's not a puppy. That's a giant. What is that? Hi. Hi. Is this just audio for people or
Bandit?
Hi, Bandit.
Yeah, that guy. You want to say hi?
Hi, Bandit. What a sweet face.
Yeah.
The Bandit, stop stealing my thunder, Bandit. You're talking about me. I got inspired to do the Mars Variety Show because I moved to Nashville, Tennessee from Los Angeles, and I was completely blown away by the local talent here, the musicians, and it wasn't just country, it was everything.
Yeah.
Comedy, there's a great circus scene here, all performers, and hula hoopers, fire dancers, whatnot. And I would see musicians pour their guts out on stage for like 6 people in the audience, or people on their phones. I'm like, you understand the level of art and talent that this person is giving you. In LA, like I would see live bands in LA, but I felt like most of the bands I saw in LA were showboating. It was like wrestling, you know, it was a little bit of theater, but people here were giving you something. And I wanted people to pay attention because it was so important. I had seen so much entertainment to remind people how special this was. So I moved here, and for my 40th birthday, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw myself a variety show. I've been obsessed with like the Dean Martin show and the variety shows of the 60s and 70s. I'll be the host, I'll be the Dean Martin, and I'll invite, you know, my musician friends and my comedian friends, and I'll get a space, and we'll just do a variety show, and I'll keep it like relentless. Like when that guy's done on stage, lights out stage, lights up stage left, and there's like a skit going on over there. And then that lights out there, and then like there's a joke at the bar. And so, nobody had time to look at their phones. They were literally looking around like, what's happening next? And it went over so well that I just kept doing it. And my background is television, so I thought I could easily translate this to a TV show. It makes so much sense. People have been trying to do the variety show. I don't want to like reinvent the wheel or anything. Just keep that same template, you know. And I was pitching it as like a half-hour thing, and then COVID struck, and I thought, you know, if now is the time. And I think people will be forgiving because we're using our phones and using a backdrop and stuff. And it came to be like that. We did 6 episodes, which now you can see on YouTube. You can binge all 6 episodes. And I just had a meeting tonight about doing a season 2.
Nice.
I hope you do, man. Awesome. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely happening. I'm all right. You'll be the first to know. I'm going to say it out loud, so now it has to be. September 21st will be the first of 6 more episodes.
Nice.
I've been waiting for you to dive into that. Now, I'm a big fan of every artist you brought on to season 1.
Man.
The talent is pretty good, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Guys and gals. I mean, great job. Keep up with that, especially, man.
I pride myself on knowing like who's got it, like who's giving you more than you expect, and they need to be shared with the world, like Madison Ward and the Mama Bear.
I couldn't wait to bring them up because I went and added all of his albums to my iTunes.
Had you heard of him before the show?
No.
I haven't heard of any of them.
You had heard of him, Benjamin?
No, I was saying I hadn't heard of anybody that you had on the show, but yeah, like everybody did a phenomenal job.
He and his mom, Madison Ward and the Mama Bear, out of Kansas City, Missouri. They performed. I heard one of his songs on the radio, and then I saw them live a few times. I mean, they got a huge following, but not everywhere. Clearly, I mean, like I'm surprised that more people don't know about them. And And the only reason Madison agreed or I got his attention is because he's a Goofy movie fan, you know. So that I use that to my advantage. But that means so much that you said that, because I love all those artists on there. I'm glad that you like them just as much.
Yeah, I'm pretty big on like music. I listen to Tiny Desk concerts where they invite people in to do acoustic.
Yeah.
I listen to that sometimes on my way to work. I'm a postman in Hampton. So, you know, sometimes when I'm on my route, I listen to a majority, and I find so many good artists that way in different genres I've never even heard of. So you just slid me some more to check out. So thank you very much.
Right on. Well, there'll be more in season 2. And hey, by the way, thank you for your service. The USPS thing is a struggle right now, unreasonably so. I don't know what what's everyone thinking, you know?
I don't know either, but here we are.
Thinking, man.
No. But yeah,
I'm sorry about that.
Especially with tough situations, you know, music is very relatable to a lot of people in different situations. You know?
Sure.
And it goes a lot. I mean, a beautiful voice and a beautiful instrument performance. It's very cool, man. So thank you.
Do you guys play music?
I'm actually a mix engineer. So
mix engineer?
Yeah.
Dig it.
So people go and record, send me their file sessions, and I put it all together.
Dig it. So you got a good ear.
Thank you.
I've wrestled some musicians before and I beat them up. But one thing that I did say before somebody rudely interrupted me and called my phone and I got disconnected from Skype, I don't know how that happened, was that I wanted to say that I appreciate you using your platform to give others a platform to appear on, because that's really cool, because, you know, we found out about all these artists and comedians, and everybody who watched the show, they found out about them as well. And like I said earlier, like everybody that was up there, they were very talented, and
thank you
that they had a part in. And I think it's also cool that you do everything for the show, from the editing to, you know, hosting. Like, you did a really good job, and I'm glad we were able to check it out, you know, because we were doing this episode, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I definitely subscribe to it, and I can't wait till season 2 airs.
Thank you. That means so much. That's exactly the feedback that I hope to get. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Welcome. I'm trying to see.
Hold on, I gotta ask, because my favorite episode was the night episode.
Yes,
yeah. Wasn't that cool?
And dude, where did you get this Rubik's Cube shirt that lights up?
I got it at a con. I think it was the Dragon Con. No. It was that awful one we went to in Galveston, Texas. But it's this company, and I've seen them at a few cons. They're based in California, but they have all these light up shirts. There's like Rubik's Cubes. Like, I got my son a Pokemon one, and you can even send your logo and they'll put it on there. I gotta find them and do like a Mars Friday show one. But yeah, it's all, and it's sound sensitive.
Oh man, it was super cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, I was a huge fan of that episode. I was just telling the guys, we really got to go get Ginger O Snap for this show, but because I checked her out, and she does amazing cosplays.
She does great.
And that's what we are. You know, I mean, we're a nerd podcast.
Yes.
She had
awesome.
A lot of really good cosplays.
I would then, in my unbiased opinion, refer you to my partner. If you look up Remy D504, also an amazing cosplayer.
Okay,
as well. And and Ginger just lives down the street for me.
Yeah, because that was some cool makeup stuff that she was doing.
Yeah, she's got some great. Her partner looks like what's it? Not Reynolds. Who plays Captain America? Thank you, Chris Evans. Looks like Chris Evans, and he's got a Captain America cosplay, and he's like a spitting image.
I saw it, and it was spot on, because she was also, who's his lover? Banks.
Carter.
Agent Carter.
Carter. Thank you.
Peggy.
Agent Carter. Peggy Carter. Dude, she looked spot on Peggy Carter to the movie, dude.
Yes. Good stuff.
So, yeah.
So a question that I have, everybody who sent in videos to the show, were they all local, or did you ever have anybody from out of state send anything?
Well, Madison Ward is in Kansas City. Samantha Crane is in Oklahoma. And I believe Emma Dilemma is in Texas. Emma Dilemma, she's the one who walked on the bottles.
Yeah.
Oh, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
She's got she just got a kitten, and she's been training the kitten to do the same thing, like walk on bottles and jump. And I'm like, girl, I want that act for my show. So I'm hoping she's working on that. Yeah, I tried to keep it concentrated in Nashville, but I'm gonna spread it out to like all. I mean, there's indie artists everywhere. You know, I'm sure there's fantastic people in your city as well. I mean, everyone deserves you know to play in this playground. You know.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely going to try to do something with that's wrestling related that we can try to send in to the show.
Oh my gosh, please. Yeah, please.
I'm wrestling on the 19th next month, so if I can get somebody that's interested in doing the little skit that I want to do to be on the show, then...
All right, I can't wait. Love it.
It's a variety show. You never know what's going to happen, you know?
I'm all for wrestling, man. Oh my gosh. It's got to be short. Keep the submissions short. That's the thing with these shows. All the skits got to be like about two minutes or so.
That's what I was gonna bring up, because you know how some of them you mash together. Mm-hmm. Like you would have somebody playing, but then you have like a dancer.
Yes.
Were they really dancing to that song, or were you like, hey, this is good, I'll just put it together and kill two birds with one stone?
No, the latter. I just mashed it together. There's one, I think it was the final episode where my friend Nathan was doing the hand team.
Yeah.
And I said
that was so cool. I've never seen this instrument before, ever.
And
blew my mind. Oh man, that was so cool.
There's many different kinds. There's a hand tam, and there's another one, I can't remember the name of it, but it has this sort of like reggae kind of like tonal to it, but you can smack it instead of using the batons.
Are you talking about like the guitar that lays down and you pluck it?
Yep.
I forgot what that's called too. Yeah, but I never seen that handball thing.
Yeah,
that was some wild stuff.
Yeah, I sent that track to Luna, and she danced to it. But the other ones I just kind of like mixed together.
Yeah, something else that really stood out to me on the show as well is how you were pro Black Lives Matter up there too. Like, I thought that was really awesome.
Well, you're sure. I mean, like it's really bam, pinkies. Pinkies. Of course, I love you, my black brothers and sisters. Everywhere. I mean, it just doesn't. Again, and a lot of people are using their common sense, and I know people in my life who are like, all lives matter. I'm like, of course, all lives matter. Otherwise, the aliens would come and take us back. I mean, that's not how it works. It's like showing up to a birthday party and being like, oh, happy birthday. By the way, where's my cake? Because I have a birthday too. Yeah, but it's not about that. Obviously, and I can claim a lot of ignorance as a privileged white man. So anything I can do to spread that awareness, And
that's a good thing. I always say, if you have a platform, use it, because people are watching, people are listening. It's like, it's better to say something than to not say anything at all.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm glad you, I don't know what to say. Yes.
Thanks for the help.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks for the help.
Sure.
Again?
Always.
I really enjoyed, the variety show. I never heard about it until Banks brought it up and was like, make sure you guys watch this show.
Yeah.
And I mean, so many acts. I mean, you must have had probably between the 6 episodes, what would you say, like 45 different people?
I never counted. I mean, there's at least two music acts per show, sometimes 3. So we're talking like 12 music acts. Yeah, I'll have to do the math, but yeah, there's a lot.
You got chicks dancing on metal dongs, ding-a-lings, as Banks likes to call them.
Ding-a-ling.
Ding-a-ling is the PG version of that.
Mhm.
That word. Yes.
I saw it and I was just like, is she dancing on the ding-a-ling?
You knew what it was.
And then Jason was like, it's just like, if that's what you thought it was, then yes,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Yes.
That was
Not afraid to have a little sexy on the show. Love to have a little provocative, a little sexy. Because that, the Hee Haw. You ever watched Hee Haw? They had the Hee Haw Honeys.
Yep.
It was almost misogynistic. It was just like, we're just gonna have sexy women here to dress scantily clad and stuff. And I definitely want to have, I'm a big admirer of women and want to celebrate them. And I'm definitely using the platform to use that to lure in viewers as well, for sure.
Look, man, if you could bring on the Hee Haw Honeys and have them sing their song,
I'm sure I'm hoping they're all still around and still with us. That was a long time ago. Maybe I'm sure if they do, they probably live near here.
Oh, I would have, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So now let's transition to acting.
Early days.
Let's get it because when I told Trav that we was getting you up here, he was like, Max Goof.
Bro, he knows.
Yeah, like Trav, I love a goofy movie too, but Trav, he really loves a goofy movie.
It's the greatest Disney animated movie of all time.
Right on, man. Dig it.
Dude, you have no idea.
It's in my top 5, but before we get to that, let's get to the next.
Slam celebrates.
Yeah, tell everybody, how did you get into acting? What made you want to become an actor?
Man, I was 12, from Rhode Island originally, and my father got a job to teach ballet in Fullerton College in Los Angeles. So we moved to Los Angeles, Orange County, really. And while I was there, we're close enough to Hollywood, and people thought I was cute, and they told my mom, and they're like, you should get him into acting. There's this workshop here in Irvine, and they'll train him and see what happens. So they did. They sent me to a place called Del Mar Media Arts, which has now transitioned to an online course. So you don't have to be in Irvine. If anyone wants to check it out, delmarmediaarts.com. I highly recommend them in my unbiased opinion.
You're not getting paid for that plug neither. That is a sincere plug.
No, absolutely. I love the Bud and Buddy Barth are my friends. I love them. I love their family, and I consider, much gratitude for them for seeing something in me, and of course they took my money, but they nurtured me, and they sent me to an agent. They recommended me to an agent who signed me that day that I went in, and immediately started saturating me in auditions, commercial, movies, voiceover, everything. And I just a little on-the-job training, and I started booking things pretty quickly, and I was fortunate,
It's pretty dope. Now, I got a question since we're here, Jason. How did voice acting come along with this stuff, or was that its own, subject, or how does that work?
And for me, it was just it was, like I said, it was one of the things that I was being saturated with. And one of the first professional gigs I booked was a radio spot for, I think it was Godfather's Pizza. And then I got my first cartoon when I was 12, which was Disney's Adventures of the Gummy Bears. I played the second Kevin. The first Kevin went through puberty, didn't sound like a kid anymore. So they got me. And, as I got older, I would book little cartoons here and there with my own voice, but I've always was able to do kind of character-y stuff, impressions and things. And being an only child, I always, if I was a big Transformers fan, so I'd watch the cartoon, and then I'd go in my room and I'd get the action figures and Megatron, your days are numbered. Oh, we gotta get you, Prime. I would do the voices, and that was sort of like my training ground, And I remember when Aladdin came out. That's my number one favorite Disney animated movie. And they were doing a TV series, and I heard Robin Williams was doing the TV series. So I asked my agent, I'm like, I really want to try out for the genie. I can kind of do a Robin Williams. I can do all these impressions. So I wrote my own monologue, doing as many impressions as I could. I read it for him, and I was with the youth division of my agency. And he got excited. He's like, hold on, come with me. He took me upstairs to the adult division of the agency where Dan Castellaneta was, Homer Simpson, and all these other cats, and Michael Bell. And they got me an audition with Disney. I did that audition. I didn't book it, but I got on their radar, and that's how they brought me in for a Goofy movie.
Who did the genie for the TV series? Was it George Costanza?
No, it was Dan Castellaneta.
Oh, okay. Because George Costanza did Return of Jafar. He played the genie in Return of Jafar, I believe.
No, he was... Return of Jafar was Robin Williams. I think he came back. No, I'm sorry.
No, he came back for King of Thieves.
King of Thieves.
He came back for the third.
But I don't know George Costanza's real name. I think it's Alexander something.
Jason Alexander. But I believe he played the genie in the second movie, if I'm not... I think I'll challenge you on that. Someone want to Google that? I'm pretty sure it was Dan Castellaneta doing it.
What? Do you mind doing your Robin Williams impersonation?
Oh, hey. They say, how do you get to the Met? Money. My goodness. Do you like to play, Mr. Lincoln? Duck. Hey, Al, can I call you Al? Or maybe just Dan. How about Laddie? Sounds like, hey, boy. Come on, Laddie. You smoke? Mind if I do? Sorry, Tita didn't mean to singe the fur. Yo, Rug Man. Haven't seen you in a few millennia. Give me some tassel. Yeah, yo.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, super good.
Since we're on the subject, favorite Robin Williams movie?
Favorite Robin? Oh, man. I've always been a fan of Popeye. Y'all ever seen that movie, his first movie?
Oh, yeah.
I've seen it, and I'm ashamed that I haven't.
That's wild.
Don't be ashamed. A lot of people don't like it. It's kind of it was a shock to most people when it came out because it just was bizarre. But it's Robert Altman directed it, and Robert Altman, a revered filmmaker. It was a musical, and it was, I think, one of Robin's first feature film roles, and it did not help him at all at the time. But I saw it. I think I was like 5 years old when I saw it, but I loved it. I loved everything about it, and I still enjoy it when it comes on. I highly recommend you check it out. When you see it, they shot a lot of it in Malta. And if you don't know where Malta is, there's Italy, the boot. Under Italy is Sicily. Under Sicily, there's this tiny island, and that's Malta. And Malta has a film studio with a giant tank, a giant outdoor water tank that's level with the, would that be the Atlantic Ocean? Sorry, I'm an actor. I took my GED. I don't know my geography. They've shot, I think they're shooting the new Jurassic Park movie there now. But they shot Popeye there, and they built these sets, and the sets were still there when I did a movie there. I did a movie called White Squall, and we shot for a month in Malta, and I heard that the sets for Popeye were still there as like a tourist attraction, and I went and hung around and walked along the steps and everything that Robin Williams walked around at the time. Yeah,
that's crazy, man. You were right though. Jonathan Freeman was Jafar. Jason Alexander was Abbas Maul.
Yeah, he was like one of the villains.
Man, he was in. I knew he was in the movie.
Who played the genie? It was Dan Castellaneta, right?
Jonathan Freeman. Oh no, that was Jafar.
Jafar.
The genie was, like you said, Dan Castellaneta.
That's right.
Yeah. Mic drop. But look, man.
I'm a voiceover actor. You don't think I know who does the voices of cartoons?
Look, if we're talking, hold on. If we're talking Robin Williams movies, I have to shout out Jack as my favorite all-time Robin Williams movie.
There you go. Little known. Francis Ford Coppola
Jack.
Directed that, I believe. Is that right? Francis Ford Coppola, who directed The Godfather, directed Jack.
Are you serious? That's wild.
Yeah.
Movie. Like, it's a good movie, but I always thought it was underrated.
Who, Jack?
I mean, Robin Williams, he doesn't have too many, you can pick them, I don't think I've seen a bad one. I mean, it's Robin Williams. In a lot of cases, he sometimes he would carry a movie, and sometimes he'd just be there. But he was a character, easily.
I know there was some Robin Williams movie I didn't like. I can't remember. And now I'm thinking of all the ones I love. Like The Fisher King was one of my favorites.
Oh my God, The Fisher King is so good. He's got so. Have you ever seen 24-Hour Photo?
Yes.
So good. This is what I'm saying, man.
He's like creepy in that one.
Good Will Hunting. He killed it in Good Will Hunting.
Academy Award winner.
My favorite is Hook. That's my favorite.
I
movie.
love Hook too.
Hook is so good.
My oldest daughter, she's 9, and she just saw Miss Doubtfire for the first time, and I mean, she absolutely loved it. Loved it.
I look like a Yeti in this getup.
It's so good.
So much good dialogue in that. How about Toys? You see Toys?
Toys is so good. Yep.
Never seen it.
It's
oh my
dope.
God.
It's weird. It's a Barry Levinson film. LL Cool J's in it. It's stylistically great. It's dark. Good. That's a good Robin Williams movie.
Plus, I mean, any excuse to watch Flubber in science class, man. I was always down for that.
Yes.
And see, with me, like, there are a lot of older movies that I've never seen, and they all the time, because I just saw The Lost Boys, I want to say 2 weeks ago.
Not even just The Lost Boys. Tell this man what you also just saw.
The Warriors.
The Warriors. He just saw The Warriors.
You know what? I have not seen The Lost Boys either.
What?
Is that the Kiefer Sutherland movie?
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie.
Oh, it's
I have not seen. We got to put that on our list. I just saw Heathers for the first time. I hadn't seen Heathers.
Heathers? Oh, Heathers is a good one.
And then the other night we watched Singing in the Rain.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm just like in an old Hollywood kick, and it was. I don't know if you guys like musicals, but it is.
I'm a big time musical guy.
It's outstanding.
Rent, Hairspray, like I don't like a lot of musicals, but there are some musicals. Like I really love Hairspray. Like I'm mad that movie never got a sequel. I think it was one in like 2009.
You can't really. Well, I mean, yeah. Again, it was a remake, so I mean, you can't really.
Yeah.
But it was but the remake was popular than the original movie though. And they said they were
because remake was the musical, musical based on the original movie.
Original, right? But speaking of that, did you see Cats? The new Cats.
I did see Cats.
Let's talk about how amazing that was.
Look, I went to a midnight screening at our local art house theater, and everyone in the theater knew what we were getting ourselves into.
Exactly.
So we had a ball.
It was so good.
Was it a perfect movie? No. It was really disturbing to look at, but also sexy to look at. And
yeah.
I don't know. I had a good time. I would watch it again. I would probably watch it again and again.
I enjoy a good Rebel Wilson cat butthole personally. That's me. So
this is still a PG show, right? How would you enjoy it? From afar? From afar.
So,
but I said butthole. That makes it okay.
It makes it okay. You didn't say the other word.
Right. Okay. But talking about wanting to view Rebel Wilson's butthole is okay.
Yeah, it's borderline. It's walking the edge. We get a little racy sometimes.
Hey, real talk. I remember back in the day, like I had told my ex that Rebel Wilson was my celebrity crush, and she got mad about it. And I'm just like, hey, who doesn't love Rebel Wilson? Like,
look, man, I've seen some new pictures of Rebel Wilson, and she's turned it up for quarantine. She's turned it up for quarantine.
She's posted some pictures. I'll take a look.
No.
Oh, I thought you. Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, if you consider her cat nude, then I mean,
it's true. Oh, that's true.
That's right.
No,
that's right.
Well, yeah, so for my taste, but
so getting back into voice acting. Before we get to
let's segue.
I'm gonna let Travis wait this one out. So you were in Hocus Pocus.
Correct.
Voice the cat. I'm mad I can't remember the cat's name. What was the cat's name, Trav?
Oh, come on, man.
That's your favorite movie?
Zachary Binks, bro.
That's right.
Get him, Trav. Get him.
But look, he knows. Look, 2 years ago for Halloween, me, my sister, and my 2 kids all dressed up as the Sanderson sisters. And I dressed up as Billy. And our next door neighbor, Gianna, she dressed up as Zachary Binks.
How about that? Right on.
Cat girl.
She's the cat girl.
Nice. Very cool.
Hocus Pocus is a staple in my household.
Well, then what will you all be wearing for this All Hallows Eve? Is it... Can you even go trick-or-treating? I'm wondering.
I don't think so, man. Might be trick-or-treating from the house.
I'm hoping that since everyone's been in quarantine, there'll be a lot less virgins walking around that black flame candle. It'll make my life certainly a lot easier.
So, are we going to be seeing Binks and Hocus Pocus too?
I don't know. I haven't heard a thing. I haven't heard a thing about it. No one's called me about it.
Dang, man, like that's crazy, man.
I don't even know if that's really a thing that's going to be happening.
I can't imagine it's really a thing. It shouldn't be a thing. I feel like sometimes you got to let things just be iconic.
Yeah, agreed.
And leave them be.
Agreed.
Not trying to put you out of, some money, by all means. But...
Oh, no, look, man, I'll be the first to tell you that, I would rather not be in something awful than, I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, I'd rather lose the work and have it not be made to retain the integrity of the original project for sure. I heard that they greenlit a script, so someone's writing it, I'm sure. It's obviously a hot product at the moment, but we'll see whether I'm involved or not. I have no idea.
Yeah, because Hocus Pocus is just one of those classic films where it's like, it still gets talked about to this day. I remember, there was a special that had came on a couple of years ago on ABC Family where they were talking about the movie and, talking about the success of it and how it kind of flopped back in the day, because of the timing that it had came out. It came out in the summertime, right?
Yeah, July. It came out in July. It's a Halloween movie in July. Who plans that?
Disney. They can do anything, man.
But now, people watch it like I watch A Christmas Story every Christmas. It's a tradition.
Have to.
It's crazy.
Classic.
Now, I wish I could say we just watch it at Halloween, but unfortunately for my youngest Kylie, that's not the case over here at this house.
It's weekly viewing.
It's up there.
That's cool.
Sometimes I have to be like, okay, Kai. I'm not watching this anymore.
It's enough. That's enough of the witch movie. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from about, not wanting to have your name attached to something, especially if it's bad. We just did an episode on The Never Ending Story, and it's like the first and the second movie were really good, and then you had the third movie come out, and it was just it was okay, but it wasn't as good as the first two. You know what I'm saying? And
you're losing the magic at that point.
I didn't even know there was a Never Ending Story 3.
Yeah, Jack Black's in it, man.
What?
Yeah.
And the kid that was in I can't remember his name right now, but the actor that was in Free Willy, he was Sebastian. He was Sebastian.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like, Air Bud 6. Nobody's heard of Air Bud 6,
really?
But it exists. You know what I mean?
My best friend at the time, he's no longer with us, but Jonathan Brandis was in Never Ending Story 2. And we were both, I was hanging out at his house one night, we were watching Saturday Night Live, and during the weekend update, they post a photo of the poster that Jonathan was on about the Never Ending Story, and the joke was, Never Ending Story 2 came out this weekend. If the first one was never ending, why do another one?
That's why you got to do the second one, though.
But the second
never ending.
Some people didn't like the second one. The second one's my favorite movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool, the concept of, Sebastian having to make the wishes and whatnot. And then, of course, at the end of the movie, the final wish, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, he wished that the villain, and I like the Never Ending Story too.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But it's but you know, talking about Hocus Pocus, just recently it was announced that there is a Static Shock movie that is going to be
right?
And you voiced Richie on Static Shock.
Correct. Yes.
I've been telling Trav, like, I want to go to a con and I want him to be Richie and I want to be Virgil.
He wants to be Static Shock so bad.
So bad, man.
Yeah, do it.
But it's like with that, I'm assuming that it's going to be a live action role.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask you, for actors who voice act on these cartoons, like, have you ever heard any stories, or do you know of, do they approach people to come and be in the live action versions of the cartoon?
I mean, sometimes for cameos, like I know Samantha Newark, who is the voice of Jem and the Holograms. She did a cameo in the live action movie. I think Will and Christy Carlson Romano from Kim Possible, I think they did cameos. It's
She
usually
did
just
do a
cameos.
cameo. Yeah,
Because
she
usually,
did do
like,
a
the voice
cameo.
actor doesn't look anything or can't look anything like the characters, you know? Like I couldn't play, you know, if they're doing it like the cartoon, and if they include Richie in the movie as a teenager, like there's no way I could do that.
Right.
But you could be his older brother.
You know, I mean, I'd be happy to be part of that in any capacity if they allow me. If there should be a cameo in the movie, hands down, it's got to be Phil Lamar, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
I mean, both of you have to be in it, man, because like Static Shock was just one of those shows, like back in the day when it was on Kids WB.
Yeah.
I love it. Now, I mean,
It's a staple for our childhood, man.
Totally.
For the intro to, you know, the topics that were being discussed,
Yes.
like the episode where Richie's dad, he was racist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then the other episode where Richie got shot, like,
Yes.
like there was a lot of stuff going on that not the episode, but on the show, and I'm glad that, you know, it was broadcast on TV so people could, you know, see, like, yo, like, this is how it is in some places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had Ken Michaels on the podcast as well, and we talked about in some of the shows he had been on, where it's like they talk about these real issues that
go ahead, keep going.
that, you know, now is like super prominent stuff that people should be viewing now versus,
of course.
not saying it didn't need to be viewed 20 years ago, but now it seems like it's more prominent than ever.
I'm glad the conversation was going on then. It's still going on now, and it was very brave. I'm going to say brave. I mean, it was appropriate for you know, the creatives behind Static Shock to use that platform to talk about stuff like that. You know, and it was and how lucky was I to be part of it? You know, I was a token white guy in that show. I mean, I was lucky to be there. You know, I didn't realize it had been re-released on, I think, DC Network, the DC streaming network, and so it's been, a lot of people have been bringing it up lately.
Yeah, it was announced this past DC fandom that Static Shock's coming back next year in 2021 in the comics.
Yeah, I watched that announcement as well.
What were some of your takeaways from that?
I mean, I had no idea. I mean, I'm not a comic book guy, so I only knew about Dennis Cowan's prowess through just working on the show. I knew he created Static, and I knew Dwayne McDuffie. I thought Dwayne was a TV guy. I didn't know that he was a comic book guy. I mean, so it was enlightening to me to learn about they started their own comic book line, their own comic book studio. All the other characters they were talking about sounded really cool. That they had kind of broken the mold in a pretty standardized genre, you know.
I'm sorry, Jason. I didn't mean about from the takeaway from the Static stuff. I meant like from the DC fandom in general. Like, what was your takeaway from everything? Was there anything that you saw that had you pumped, like the Snyder cut of Justice League, or the Justice League versus Suicide Squad video game that's coming out?
Oh, the thing that got me the most pumped is the Batman feature film.
Oh yeah,
When I saw that trailer, I was I love Batman. I got a tattoo of Batman. I got a whole room of Batman. I love me some Batman. And so I'm always skeptical of like, how are they treating this? I'm not a big fan of Snyder's take on Batman. Although that said, I'm curious about the cut to see what was withheld from him by the studio. I will watch it. Actually, I remember watching Justice League and not hating it as much as I thought I was going to. I was like, oh, this is actually not bad. But yeah, most excited for the Batman, definitely. I've just kind of gotten into video games. I haven't seen the trailer for the video game that you're talking about. I'm stoked for the Wonder Woman sequel.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Who doesn't love the 1980? So I'm looking forward to that as well. And, you know, since you said that you're a huge Batman fan, how was it working with Kevin Conroy on Static Shock?
It was a dream come true. It was great. I did an episode of Batman Animated back in the day, so I got to meet him and work with everybody, and getting to sit next to the guy as he's doing it is pretty awesome. Wow. But if I could be honest, the best part for me was sitting next to Mark Hamill, watching him do his thing. You know? And I've known Mark for years. We were at the same agency. He was one of the adult voiceover guys in the agency, and I'd see him all the time, and always super nice. And I was kind of told, like, don't talk about Star Wars and stuff like that. So I never did. I never got a picture with him or anything like that. When I found out he was doing the Joker, I was dubious. I was like, really? Him? Because at first it was Tim Curry that was cast, Joker into that, and then that didn't go anywhere. And then they brought Mark Hamill in. I was like, man, this is exactly how he sounds in my head. When I'm reading the comics, this is exactly what's going on. So getting work next to him in Static, that was ridiculous.
Because you've been in every Batman series, right? In some capacity.
Gosh, I didn't think about it, but you're right. I did Batman. I did Batman Beyond. I did Brave and Bold. I did the Batman.
And you did the animated series.
I did the animated series, and I did one of the Gotham Knights, that first Batman anime.
Yeah, right.
I know.
Now, when you came in and did Batman Beyond, how often? Because obviously, going back to and Will from Boy Meets World, how is that something? Do y'all have like a friendship that you keep up with, or did he connect you with that, or like how did that? Because we love Batman Beyond. Like we've talked about it so many times on this podcast. I love what Will did with it. I love Batman Beyond. And
sorry to cut you off, Trav, but just to let you know, I slid in Will's DMs and he still hasn't responded yet.
Will is fearful of the internet. He is not. He keeps a safe distance. He does it when he's like he's younger than me, but he acts like an old man. He's set in his ways. He likes his thing. It's absolutely nothing personal. But also like he's extremely popular. I'm sure he gets lots of people to slide in there. But he and I have been buds since Boy Meets World, and I think our friendship was so prominent that people knew that, and it seemed like anything that he was working on, I was working on, they would bring one of us in to play the other's friend. Right. So I did that on Kim Possible. He and I did a movie together. Batman Beyond, they just brought me in, to play opposite him. He played Lion-O in the new Thundercats cartoon. He wrote a part for me. He wrote some of the episodes, and he wrote a part for me in that.
Oh, okay. That's so cool, man.
Yeah. Trav, I hope that you do something like that for me,
Yeah, you hear that, Trav?
Dude, if I ever reach that level, I promise, you and D, I'll write y'all parts all day.
Yes.
I mean, again, man, you've been in so much stuff that I'm such a mark for. I mean, I have all of Boy Meets World on DVD, dude. Nice. I mean, I know you were there for the early stages when they were still developing the show and weren't really sure the direction of it. But, I mean, again, Hocus Pocus, Goofy Movie's my favorite all-time animated movie. We're huge anime guys, so the fact that you were Haku and A Spirited Away, one of the biggest Studio Ghibli movies. You know,
Thank you.
Spirited Away for anime fans is like prominent. It's up there, dude. And I mean, you've done so many iconic roles for our generation, dude.
I appreciate that. That means a lot. I love that feedback. Thank you. That means a lot.
You know, one thing that I wanted to ask, since Trav had brought up Will, and I don't know if he knows this or if Dee knows this as well, but you had told a story on Instagram where something involved in a swimming pool and you getting naked.
Yes.
Now, Banks likes to hear about other guys getting naked, so he really wants you to tell this story.
I told the story for the listeners and for my fellow co-hosts.
Yes. Will was in a movie called Gold Diggers, and it premiered at the Las Vegas Film Festival. And I went with him, and we're at an after party at the hotel pool, and he bet me $800 to jump in the pool naked in front of all these people. So I did. And as a result of that little antic, I was quickly surrounded by security and escorted out of the hotel. Will and his brother Greg were both behind me going, Jay, I'm right here. We're right here with you, Jay. Don't worry. They thought they were going to take me to jail or something. And the big head security guy, like the main security guys that stopped me were so pissed. They were like, they were so upset. And then the main guy is laughing. He's like, man, what are you doing? I'm like, just, it's a party. And they were going to kick me out of the hotel, but I'm like, but can I just go to my room and get my stuff? They're like, wait, you're staying at the hotel? I said, yeah. And they were like, all right, well, just don't go back down to the party. So I did not accept $800. It was like, I'm like, don't worry about it. Greg took a photo, and that was the payment. That photo is on my Instagram, actually. If your listeners want to see my pasty white ass coming out of a swimming pool in Las Vegas, that's where you can find it.
I thought it was funny, and I just had to bring it up. Yeah,
who knew that you and Duncan Fletcher were having so much fun together?
Who's Duncan Fletcher?
That was his character in My Date with the President's Daughter, man. One of the best Disney Channel original movies.
Oh yeah, it was one of my favorites.
And weren't you guys in Trojan War together too?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
that's right.
I remember I watched that movie when I was a kid. I shouldn't have watched it when I was a kid, but I always thought that it was a fun movie. It kind of reminded me of what is that other teen movie where it's like the boy, he's trying to get with Jennifer Love Hewitt.
I Can't Hardly Wait.
Yeah, Can't Hardly Wait. There you go.
Yes. Yeah,
that's what War kind of reminded me of. So when I was a kid, like I loved both of those movies.
Yes.
Do you still talk to Jennifer Love Hewitt?
I haven't talked to Love in years. I ran into her once in Burbank when I was living in town, but I haven't talked to her in a long time.
Man, that was the crush when I was a kid, man.
Right. You're not alone. You're not alone.
It was her and Kimberly from Power Rangers.
Kimberly from Power Rangers.
Dig
man.
it.
So Trav, are you ready?
Man.
Are you ready? Go ahead, Trav. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
Bring it. What do you got?
Look, man, a Goofy movie.
Yes.
The greatest animated movie of all time.
Yes, sir. You got it.
The greatest soundtrack of any Disney movie ever created.
Mm-hmm.
All respect to The Lion King and The Little Mermaid.
What about Aladdin?
What about Aladdin and Hercules and Mulan?
I mean,
Alan
they're
Menken,
good, man.
They got nothing on him. Elton John, who?
It's true. You just don't got nothing on Powerline, man.
Tell me everything you want to say about a Goofy movie, Travis.
Go ahead, Trav. You've been waiting almost 30 years. Go ahead.
These palms are sweaty, man. Eminem style right now.
It looks like a kid in a candy store. Look at him.
Man, I just love this movie so much, man. I would just want to get your take on how Because you were at the, what was it the 20th or the 25th anniversary that ABC did the big concert for in Disney?
That was 20th anniversary. That was at D23 5 years ago. Yeah. We did a live.
You were there.
I was there. We did me and Bill Farmer and Rob Paulson and Jim Cummings and Jenna Von Oy and Powerline himself, Tevin Campbell.
That's
and
right.
You can see it on YouTube. You can see the whole thing. We as I was told, the D23 folks or Disney did not expect the amount of people to turn up for the show that they did, and we sold out that auditorium, filled it up. It was standing room only, and they had to turn hundreds of people away, and it was outstanding. And I got to Aaron Lohr, my buddy Aaron Lohr did Max's singing voice in the movie, and I got to actually do the singing at the event, and you can see that on the YouTube clip. And then Tevin Campbell comes out at the end and does an actual, there's a real Powerline concert for everybody. It was so dope.
So anyways, man, we're working on this movie, right? You got Bill Farmer.
Yes, sir.
Playing Goofy.
Dad. That's right.
Goofy is the most underrated Disney character of all time.
All right.
I like Mickey. I like Donald.
He's fine. They're fine.
But I got an amazing Goofy hat.
Yeah.
That I've had hanging up on my wall.
Yeah, right on.
For many, many years. And I love some Goofy. And of course, man, you got to work with the amazing, uncredited Pauly Shore.
Yes.
Now, the rumor is, though, that he wanted to remain uncredited to not take away from the movie as far as parents not wanting their kids to see the movie. What's the truth in that?
I think that is true. I mean, he was at the time a big star. I mean,
he was a racy kind of guy, you know.
Yes.
His comedy was a little not children friendly.
Totally. No, he was an MTV guy, and he was in a different level. Not a Disney persona per se, but which is kind of weird because his personality and his voice is so recognizable. But that, I believe that is true.
What can I say? I mean, we got the perfect cast over here. So
Travis, are you sure? Because I have a feeling when we hang up, you're gonna be like, man, there was 5 things I want to ask him.
It's gonna happen, man. But I wrote my notes on my palm and they melted off. So
what's your favorite part of a Goofy movie? And I'll tell you mine.
Honestly, my favorite part of all time is literally the beginning song where Max is off to school.
Nice.
Which I will not sing.
All right.
And embarrass myself.
I sing podcasts all the time. You should do it.
No, I'm not doing it.
They've been laughing since I can remember. Yes. But they're not gonna laugh anymore. No more.
I'm not doing it, man. You're not sucking me into this.
Wow.
I'm not gonna embarrass.
How long did you try to get me on this show, Benjamin?
I've already embarrassed myself enough.
This is your.
All right.
My mouth hurts from smiling for 20 minutes.
All right, you know what my favorite part of a Goofy movie is?
Tell us.
After the Nobody Else But You song,
right?
And they're floating down the river, and Max turns to his dad and is like, Dad, there's a waterfall. And Goofy goes, waterfall. Waterfall?
So good. So good. Man, I think my favorite Goofy line that I constantly say all the time is when he's trying to get Max to go with him, and he's going,
Yeah, and Max is like, okay. Have fun.
Hey, ABC soup, man. ABC soup.
ABC soup. Hi, Dad soup. You got it.
It's got so much emotional moments in this movie, man.
It does. Another favorite part of mine in that movie, and it's funny to say, but it's with Goofy and Pete in the hot tub, which is funny as it sounds. But it's two dads talking about their plight as parents.
Right, yeah.
It's a real conversation, something.
And they have different opinions on how to, Rachel, gotta keep them under your thumb, Goof.
That's right. My son respects me.
Yeah, it's true. And as a kid, you watch the movie and you're like, come on, man, he wants to go to the Powerline concert. And now as a father, you're like, dude, he just wants to spend some time with his son, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, man. I'm glad that you love it so much. I love that people love a Goofy movie. I have a lot of people that come up to me and say, like, I had a tumultuous relationship with my parents, or I didn't get along with my dad, but we bonded over this movie, and that's these are rewards you never expect when you're working on a cartoon, you know.
Now, did you get the same type of love for the sequel, the Extreme Goofy movie?
Yeah, a lot of people like. I got a message from this journalist who wrote about the Mars Variety Show. He's like, man, say what you want. Extremely Goofy movie is like one of the best cartoons. Like he like the extreme sports take on it, and the psychedelic, you know, dream sequence. It's a fun movie. Really well done.
Yeah.
So I think when it comes out too, like X Games is real hot.
Yeah.
In this era.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tony Hawk's real popping.
Totally.
And then it's like, man, you got to show respect to my boy Pete Jr. He was representing for the big fellas. You know, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, man.
I really hear a lot of people talk about an extremely Goofy movie as much as, you know, the original, because the original is such a classic. I mean, like, who doesn't love Powerline and Eye to Eye? You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
That's my favorite part of the entire movie. Like when everybody's on stage dancing. Like, can you do the perfect cast?
I have not taught myself the perfect cast. I have not. I'm ashamed to say I have
Not even just that. Powerline literally saw him do it for 2 seconds and was like, I got it. And
Yeah.
just all start going.
That's why Powerline's who he is, man.
It's just like Vanilla Ice and
The Turtles.
Yes.
And he came to the rap just like that.
That's right.
Huh? Go Ninjas?
Go Ninjas, man.
Go Ninjas, go Ninjas, go. Go Ninja. I had that album. I'm not ashamed to say it. I liked it.
So what's next for you? Like what future projects do you have besides the Mars Variety Show?
I did a couple of voiceover gigs out of my closet in the other room, because that's the way we're working nowadays. I have non-disclosure agreements, but like one's a video game, one is a cartoon that is back for its 4th season. And yeah, man, just always hustling. That's an actor's life.
All right, well, I mean, then that's it. Before we let you go, can you tell everybody in social media land where they can find you at?
Yes, please find me on Instagram at Jason Marsden. That's where I communicate the most. I'm on Twitter. Twitter's where I usually go and like, you know, give crap to my local legislation and senators. Instagram is where I talk to people, and I would love it if you would follow at Mars Presents on YouTube and subscribe to that channel and watch the Mars Variety Show.
And there you have it. You have
it, man.
Up here. Trav finally got his wish.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Christmas came early.
And you know,
Christmas came early.
Be sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed this video and get notified every time we upload a new one by subscribing and ticking the bell icon. You can also listen to the full episode by searching for Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks on your favorite podcast app. If you'd like to help support more great content like this, be sure to check us out on Patreon. We'll have the link posted in the description below. Thanks for listening, and see you on the next episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.